Black history is everyone's history.
How would you describe your country?
The best way that I could describe America for someone who has never been is that it is a melting pot of many, many, many different cultures.
I would describe the UK as a country with lots of contrast. So you can go to a place like London, where I live, which is really, really diverse. You'll have like shops from all over the world. You have people from all over the world speaking different languages, and then you'll drive out like maybe 2-3 hours and then not see a black person at all.
If I could describe my experience in Japan in 3 words, it would be fun, safe, and peaceful, to say the least. However, on the other hand, being included by Japanese community and being so ingrained into the tradition and culture has made me ignorant and oblivious to my own bloodline, ancestral history, and culture.
What is Black History Month?
I would describe Black History Month as a time for people to learn about the Black communities in the areas they live in, so the country, or even around the world.
In Brazil, we mostly do small events. It could be some artistic events, some speeches.
We celebrate historical Black figures who've had a huge impact in the world and also amongst Black people. When I first arrived here in Vietnam, people were not really familiar with Black History Month, so I thought it was important for us to engage the local people amongst the Black people here.
When do you celebrate Black History Month?
In Australia, Black History Month is actually based in July. I think that people outside of Australia probably don't know that there's a Black History Month here, and I think that that's not really a surprise. Black History Month here is centered, and quite rightly so, around the Indigenous population. Unfortunately, the relations between the government and Indigenous Australia is really not what it should be, even in the sense of prioritising and amplifying the voices of Indigenous Australians. I don't really feel like we're there yet.
In America, we celebrate Black History Month during the month of February. It was originally only supposed to be a week long, and it was known as Negro History Week. But we decided to make it a month-long event because a week just wasn't enough.
We celebrate the Black History Month in November. The date is 20th of November. In Brazil, like for Black people, we are not pretty sure from where we are from, where we came from. So it's a way to celebrate all of the greatness that we have inside us and outside as well.
Just to give a depiction as to Japan's demographics, within Japan's population, only 2% of Japan's population are foreigners, and of that 2%, 80% of that 2% are foreigners from other Asian countries. Black History Month is not a nationally recognized thing. However, that does not stop us from taking our time to celebrate and remember our Black history within our community and outside our community. For Black History Month, Legacy Foundation Japan will be working with Monique Marianne, the heart behind organizing Black History Month events here in Japan for over 10 years.
When did you start learning about Black History Month?
I originally heard about Black History Month in elementary school, but our teachers did not really take advantage of Black History Month.
To be honest, like in Canada, there isn't much of a Black history curriculum at schools. We kind of go through like Martin Luther King, like a brief mention of Malcolm X, Nelson Mandela and the Underground Railroad because it came through Canada, but beyond that, it was kind of it.
A lot of the time when we learn about history, it's very, very whitewashed, and even when we do learn about Black history in school outside of Black History Month, there's not really that much of a focus.
If we learned about Black history, it wasn't, a lot. It was just like there was slavery and there was a little bit of the civil rights movement, but we didn't learn it as in depth as we learned white history.
What historical figures or events do you celebrate during Black History Month?
Notting Hill Carnival is a really important event that takes place at the end of August, but it actually started after there were race riots in West London. So in like the late 50s and early 60s, there was a huge influx of migration from the Caribbean after the war, and that obviously led to racial tensions. So the carnival was kind of like in response, and like a celebration of West Indian culture in London.
There have been a number of first blacks here in Japan. Chris Hart, he's from Bay Area, San Francisco, and he is a J-pop artist here in Japan.
One of the biggest historical events for Black History Month that was very important for America was the Civil Rights Movement. During the Civil Rights Movement, there were many marches, protests, and other events that helped to shape America the way we know it today.
Black people have had a huge impact around the world, and it's important to know that because sometimes there's a negative narrative about Black people, especially through the media.
For literally hundreds of years, Black people have been silenced in America. We were first silenced when we were kidnapped and brought here as slaves to work for free.
I feel that as an immigrant, especially one that got their citizenship that easily, I think that it's an obligation upon me to go and learn about the history of this country.
Growing up in the UK as a Black person, there is sometimes a consensus that being Black kind of makes you not British, which is completely not the case at all. And I think learning Black history, I've realized that Black people have been so pivotal to the making of the country. They continue to be really, really important to the country.
Black people are everywhere in the world. Like, it's not just in the States, not just here. It's like every country has a Black community and like a story to go along with that Black community.
When people know our history, they can understand more about our resiliency and how far we've come and the things that we've endured and how we continue to keep going.